that's it.
Oh.
Ah! I am back from the race to Alaska, and I am going to work on a video for that to come out in several weeks. In the meantime, we're gonna go back to work, this time on all the work that is taking place below the waterline. My name is Nicholas, and I live aboard a 103-year-old historic wooden boat, Argonaut 2, and I'm on a mission to build community around this boat to help out with an ongoing restoration and preservation of its history. Today we are going to tackle some of the surprises that we found when we first hauled out the boat, including damage that we found on the propeller and the ensuing replacement of the cutlass bearing. We're also going to paint the bottom of the boat and get to see the final product of this haul out. But before we get there, we're going to chase a bonus project that I was interested in taking a look at, chasing a leak that we had in the aft deck.
That is like soil. It's totally rotten here. This one looks totally fine from up above, but it's like a sponge, you know?
Yeah.
This one is completely rotted out, which is why this bulkhead is suffering so much. Right now I am sitting on the aft deck of Argonaut doing some reflecting from a kind of a really hard day. What made it hard was some big decisions that need to be made, balancing timeline and funding and the scope of this work. In the YouTube videos, I try to keep a positive energy, and the team, you know, we've actually been 99% of the time we're having like a ton of fun, and there's a lot of energy on this project. I think that's important because it not only helps keep you motivated, but invites a lot of people into this community and to this project as well. But there are some days that are really hard, and this is one of those days. I've had a surprisingly few over the course of this project. Certainly the first week when we ripped the giant hole in the side of the boat. Now that we're just a few weeks away from launch, and you know, I know the YouTube videos lag behind what's actually happening. We actually have paint going on to the boat right now, and we're just hanging into some of the back burner, you know, if we have the time kind of projects. And one of those we dug into today, and it's just some overwhelming decision making. It's with regard to the deck. There's going to be a video about it in the future, but as a quick intro, we just started poking some holes into some leaking planks just to see what's underneath, to see if it's something that we could patch, repair, replace the whole deck, or if there's more to it than that. And it turns out there's more to it than that, which is not surprising, but it is overwhelming. Eventually, Argonaut's going to need a new aft deck, and then some of the more structural deck beams, the Carlins and the what's called a king beam that is structural, runs underneath the house right here and is weight bearing. So my thinking right now is just sitting in the sunset, reflecting on what step to go forward on. And you know, I'm already pushing the splash date back. I feel like I'm in shape to sustain this big project, but I had a splash date in mind. We've already passed it, and I'm about to push it back again. And this last mile seems to be really challenging and like an all-out sprint in a marathon where, I don't know, I just feel tired. Tomorrow I'll be better, and really, really looking forward to being back in the water, hopefully in the next few weeks. So thank you everyone for watching this, and particularly those who've been supporting. Whether you've been supporting since the beginning or are new to this channel, the volunteers, the people who have been donating to the project, the people who have been supporting the videos on Patreon, like, it all is coming together to make something that's really cool, and that's been really special, and I'm grateful of that. So thanks for letting me be vulnerable. I don't usually capture these moments, certainly not on camera, but I'm pretending that you're not there when I'm recording this. So actually, this is a great shot of us finishing the boat and destroying it at the same time. Oh man, look at that.
Yeah, that's a rot pocket for sure.
Through the beam.
Through the beam, yeah.
Here's today's project. I'll show you real quick what I'm talking about down below in the aft stateroom. We have the bunks pulled out and we're putting in some skylights. It's a small project relative to what we've accomplished so far this winter, but it's just coming at a time where you feel like you're at the finish line of a marathon, and the feeling I have is, you know, that relief of getting there and then realizing you have another 3, 4, 5 miles to run, which is doable. You know, we have the momentum and the energy, but it takes more energy to do this last little project, it feels like, than what we've gotten so far. It's nice that I'm backed up to the forest here. There's a lot of deer and coyotes that hang out here in the mornings and the evenings. So. It's in the mid-70s today, and today's project I am going to try and pull off the propeller, which I'm going to take down to a shop in Tacoma which works on fixing and repairing propellers. What I learned is that there was a dent in the propeller that causes cavitation as that prop is turning, and that cavitation and the bubbles coming out of it were enough to actually cause the pitting that you see on that trailing edge of the prop. That came off pretty easy.
Shockingly easy.
Due to the age of this shaft, high chance that the thread is reverse threaded, again because it's a right-hand prop, and the idea is to put a left-hand thread on it to lock it. Most of the time the engine's forward, and so the idea of a right-hand prop is it threads itself on, in theory, as there's pressure pushing the prop forward. So anyway, there is a chance. Back in the day, they did reverse the threads. I guess more modern ones, they don't do it as much.
So we're about to find out. Trial and error.
We're about to find out.
No!
Pull. All right, keep going, because if you can't do that, we have another option.
Do we have a breaker bar?
Yeah, right here.
Sick.
Although it's going to get in the way of the scaffolding. Oh, man. Go a little further.
Okay.
Yep, go ahead. So we can try the other direction. Do you want to try the other direction? See if it's reverse threaded. It's going. Nice.
Woo! Thanks. Thanks, Scott. Woo!
Here I'm using a tap just to clean up the threads a little bit for some all thread that we'll use in a puller in order to pull the prop off the shaft. A puller works by threading all thread straight into the prop itself and then tightening nuts against a steel plate positioned at the tip of the shaft. These nuts exert quite a force against the prop, but often it's not enough. We have the puller bolted into the prop and it's tensioned up, and the idea here is we're going to heat the prop up to about 200-250 degrees as fast as we can so that it expands faster than the shaft. And so we have this tin foil set up. It'll absorb a little heat, but it's mostly designed to deflect the heat back onto the prop, protecting the wood behind it and to protect the shaft because we're not trying to heat the shaft up.
She's coming. Woo!
Alright, can you get a wedge? Our next challenge was trying to remove the propeller from its shaft without having to remove the rudder.
I don't know, man. I'm not so sure about this.
There's not a ton of clearance.
I think we need to get it fully 90 degrees, which means pulling a cable off. Honestly, not that hard. And we need to do it anyway.
Nick, where does your confidence come from?
Yeah, this is gonna be very heavy. You got it?
Barely.
Darn, it's so close.
Not so sure about this.
Yep. See?
Okay.
Look
there you
at
go.
that.
Come towards me. Got it? Darn, it's so close.
Smack that bit off. Oh.
That's it.
Oh.
Yeah, I got it. But come quick.
Coming.
Woo!
All right, awesome. A quick project was to repaint the marks on my anchor chain, which I mark every 5 fathoms and change colors every shot, which is 15 fathoms or 90 feet. So as the next step, now that the propeller is off of the boat, is to replace the cutlass bearing, which is essentially a bushing inside the shaft log that the propeller shaft spins freely. And what's a little bit annoying about this case with Argonaut, instead of having external access to the bolts to pull the housing out, the entire thing is covered up. This is a fairing block, which helps to maintain the laminar flow entering the leading edge of the propeller and needs to be taken off in order to access the bolts of the housing. So we got all but 4 screws pulled out. Gonna finish the rest of them with creating a bigger slot with the angle grinder, and if that doesn't work, we'll just cut them off. Broke the drill bit. All right. Well, hopefully we can just clean these up and use them again.
There you go.
All right.
That is a cool piece of wood.
Our next challenge was to remove the cutlass bearing housing, which proved to be a little bit more difficult than it looks.
Oh, it's smaller.
There we go, dude.
All right, I got it. You got it? Yep. Oh, goddamn.
It would be pretty stupid if they made it so you had to take the rudder off.
Yeah. So we're just about a week away from launching. I've been working in the engine room and the bilge focusing on through hulls. It's never great to leave a through hull unused. And so what I've been doing this morning was finally ripping off an old valve here, and I'm replacing it with a more modern ball valve, and then I'll be putting a plug on it for now that I'll be able to remove in the future if I ever want to pump something in as a raw water intake.
Yeah. So we're scraping the hole. We're getting rid of the old paint that's chipping off, getting it ready for a new coat. A little bit like this. That's great.
How you doing down there?
Doing great. This is fun.
I love the cowboy boots. That kills
Is it
me.
obvious we're from Texas?
Oh, I love it.
So one thing we do before we get into bottom paint is do a very careful hull check, and it's something that we want multiple people to do with different sets of eyes, just to make sure that we are plugging any fastener holes with bungs, any old nail holes with Swede nails.
We're putting Swede nails in.
We never paid the seams underneath the stanchion. And then we'll do one coat of bottom paint and then do an inspection again, paying any additional seams that look like they're opening up prior to doing a final coat of bottom paint.
Hi, I'm Christina. I am a welder and fabricator here in the yard. I've been living on my sailboat and working in the boatyard, welding, fabrication, mechanical repair. For Argonaut 2, I ended up welding some hardware for zinc onto the boat. Good for helping with corrosion when she's back in the water, and kind of a small but useful and important job.
If you don't leave your keys in the car and there's no one to move it, sometimes they'll move the car for you.
Oh, yeah.
And then sometimes they'll just take the boat right over the car.
This is a cutlass bearing, and as a next step, we needed to first remove the old one from the housing that we just pulled out of the shaft log, and then press the new one in. To do so, I utilized a friend's press, who coached me through the process. Can I start it by hand or?
Tap it around.
An inch?
Yeah. But you got it. Good.
Okay, ready? Go! And it was almost just as difficult to put the cutlass bearing housing back into the shaft log.
I kind of wobbled it.
Okay.
Wobbling's working.
I can probably get to the point where I can kind of
Push and wobble? I know.
instantly. Okay, pushy.
Okay. It wasn't trash, but it wasn't. What was it?
I'm dying to know.
Like we went and
Was
like,
it-
oh, Miles recommended
It was food.
It was food.
He recommended the pie, which I have not had any
Oh,
of.
my knife is just too wide. I need a smaller knife.
There's smaller knives floating around though.
Oh, there we go.
Give them the deposit.
What?
That was so sketchy.
That's moving it. We need a hammer with a longer handle.
Nice.
We were tightening up these bolts, and then suspiciously this one, it just would never get tight. And then as you go to tighten it, you realize that the whole bolt is turning and we're slowly backing it out.
We're gonna have to put we're gonna pull it out entirely, drill out and insert a dowel, set it, and then we can re-drill and mount it again. I think that's the fix. I just don't know how much rot is on the bolt.
There's no rod on this bolt.
Ran into a quick problem where as we are tightening this nut, the bolt is actually pulling from the stern post. I'm not quite sure how it's set up. We think that there's like a lag screw on one end and then it's machine threaded on this end. To make a small project larger, we're gonna pull out this bolt and this bolt, see what it looks like, and might have to reset it with like a dowel or something like that.
Yeah.
See, there's the wood lag. We're machine screwed on this half in order to bolt the cutlass bearing housing onto the bolt, but the other side of the bolt is a lag with a wood thread to be able to drive into the stern post. The fix is to either make a longer one of these or try to clean it out, put a dowel in there, and then re-drill a new hole. 4 days to launch. Today I'm going to start painting the bottom of the boat using Petit's Odyssey HD ablative paint. I am sticking with an ablative paint, which is what was previously on the hull. These paints are designed to essentially flake off as the boat moves through the water, so any growth that's building up will constantly be renewed. And to start, we're gonna first start on the bare wood, putting a thinned down version of this to prime the wood, essentially have it soak up and help create a better painting surface on the new wood. And then I like to focus extra attention at the waterline. And then I'll follow that up with 2 additional coats on the full hull. With any extra paint that I have, I will touch up to some of the higher wear areas like the bow, the stern post ahead of the propeller, and everything at the waterline, which is often where some of the worst growth happens. Quick shout out to Petit, who sees the value in supporting projects like this and was actually able to provide all of the paint. For the third coat, my friends Michael and Brad jumped into some Tyvek suits on a very hot day to get the job done.
What do you think?
Doing great.
B minus?
No, it looks great. Man, how are you guys feeling?
Sweaty. Yeah. The bottom's redder now than it was. Yeah.
Bottom is redder than it was.
Looks pretty good.
That's the final coat of everything.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
So.
Just one more coat along the water line and it's ready to go in.
With launch day only 3 days away, my friend Joseph, who you met back in episode 33, hosting the holiday cookie party at the Adams Proggy House, came down during lunch and took some tintype photos of the crew who made this project happen.
When you're ready, let's say on 3. So, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's it.
It took a few tries to get the exposure right, and I think having these is a cool addition to Argonaut's story.
It turned out pretty good.
That is awesome. Thanks, Joseph, for sharing these and for keeping this art form alive. Here's an update. We are installing new zinc plates to the exterior of the hull. T-minus 16 hours to launch. Also welding bolts for zincs on the rudder. Oh, go ahead. Getting rained on with 5200. And we just found looks like quite a bit of diesel in the bilge, and are questioning where it came from. It might be that we found that there's some kind of passive leak in my fuel system. All my fuel tanks, all 3 of my fuel tanks are empty or near empty, which is really concerning, and not something you want to find out the night before you go back in the water. That's our current update. We're taking a quick break for dinner and then going to keep troubleshooting the fuel issue.
At this point, I was very tired, very overwhelmed, and honestly wasn't doing much filming. Now, Rowan had already gone home for the night, but ended up coming back later in the evening to help me troubleshoot the problem and come up with a plan on how we were going to approach it the following day.
We have 3 tanks. We have a stern tank and 2 side tanks, and they all feed into each other, an old iron plumbing. So what we're gonna do is shut off the tanks one by one, pressure test at the vent above deck with a gauge and an air compressor. We'll do a leak down and hopefully find either a bad tank or bad plumbing, and then we'll go from there. Hopefully isolate a tank. Hopefully it's just one tank. Hopefully it's a tank and not the plumbing.
Yeah. We're gonna find out more about what happened in the next video, which is gonna get into launch day, the ongoing project with the aft deck, and a growing list of unexpected projects that continue to surprise us even after the boat is back in the water. Now, I recognize that I'm quite behind on videos, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been so patient and waiting for them to pick back up again. I had gotten so overwhelmed with all these last minute surprises, the difficulty of the timing of Race to Alaska, and then figuring out the funding for all of these unexpected projects. Now, as you can see, I am recording this video out at anchor right here in front of the Port Townsend waterfront, and I just want to say how grateful I am to everyone who has contributed and supported this project over this past year. We really could not have gotten right here without it, and over the next few weeks, I look forward to catching you up on everything that we've been doing, share my experience in Race to Alaska, get into some summer cruising, including running a few charters to help pay for the next project, and then sharing some exciting things about what is yet to come. Now, if you'd like to support this project or these ongoing videos, please consider subscribing to my Patreon. And in the next video, Argonaut is going to be back in the water. We're going to look at the resolution of the fuel issue, find out another surprise that we weren't anticipating, and dive into some projects that we were waiting to do once the boat's back in the water. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.